What's up guys, another great fight this week. We have Eryk Anders taking on JunYong Park, and this is one I am very much looking forward to. But before we get into it guys, this video is sponsored by Full Reptile Collective, brought to you by Dan Hardy. Head over to their website at fullreptile.co.uk where you can find anything from training gear, t-shirts, hoodies, all the way to coffee. For an exclusive 10% off, use Dan Said So at checkout. Make sure to also check out their YouTube channel for some of the best MMA content out there, bar my own. Let's get back to the video. Alright guys, let's start with Eryk Anders, because Eryk Anders is coming off a loss to Muniz via submission, and this is at middleweight. I would like to just say that because he has bounced between light heavyweight and middleweight. I think he's had 3 or 4 fights at light heavyweight. He's more successful at middleweight. He is an enormous individual when he gets that weight correct, and we saw that against Darren Stewart. He looked massive. He looked like a weight class above against Darren Stewart. Obviously Darren Stewart has now been cut from the UFC, which is sad for me, but you know, he's back at Cage Warriors now, and he'll bounce back, you know. But Eryk Anders, on the other hand, he has that raw power. I wouldn't say anything Eryk Anders does is technically brilliant. He has that kind of demonic strength. When he gets into your range, he crowds you with his size, and he uses that bullish technique, you know, shoving your shoulders into you in the clinch, tying one arm up while dirty boxing with the uppercuts underneath. You know, when he got Darren Stewart backed up, it's not like he was technically better than Darren Stewart in any way, because Darren was teeing off on him in some points in the first round. Same teeing off. He was landing successfully, wasn't so much teeing off. But when Darren Stewart got backed up into the cage, he couldn't really he couldn't really you know, use his footwork to get out. He couldn't shoulder roll out. He couldn't do nothing. Eryk Anders just absolutely monster, high volume, power shots. You know, not pinpoint accurate, not technically brilliant, not the, you know. And by that I mean he's not turning into them. He's not twisting. It's just raw power. He's almost like a street fighter put into the cage with some technical ability. And I love Eryk Anders. I think he's phenomenal. I think he's had a little rough ride, and you know, he was disgusted with how he fought against Jotko. He said it was really embarrassing. So I fully expect him to come against Park here with full guns blazing. We've got JunYong Park on the other hand, guys, and now he's coming off a knockout loss to Gregory Rodriguez, which was pretty vicious, to be honest. You know, he got Gregory backed up, and Gregory, you know, high guard with one hand, countered with the uppercut on the other, backed Park up, and from that on just kept pushing forward, pinpoint again, pushed him to the cage and sat him down. And JunYong Park worries me with his defense. You saw against Nchukwi as well, where you know he's got kind of a high guard, but then Nchukwi just slips under, hits over the top with an overhand right, and he's got the guard up, and it's not blocking anything. It's like little higher, little, you know, tuck your chin down, and it might actually block something. But instead he just gets hit after hit, and I know he won that fight, but it wasn't decisive to me. You know, the only decisive one where he's absolutely smashed through the person is John Phillips. And that's the game plan I think he should have in this one against Eryk Anders. Now, it's going to be very difficult because John Phillips and Eryk Anders are 2 different animals. Eryk Anders is far better, in my opinion. John Phillips is the most one-dimensional fighter ever, and he got taken down at will by JunYong Park. That is how you got to do it. He's got to get that high crotch again, slam him to the floor, drill his hips in, and just keep him there. Even if he's not necessarily beating him up, I think he needs to make him respect them takedowns, make him worry about it on the feet, because then the feet will open up and Eryk Anders won't maybe be so aggressive. I think Eryk Anders knows he's got JunYong Park beat on the feet, because Park's hide behind a good jab. He's got a very good jab, but as I say, he has no power shots. I know he's not people out in the regional scenes, but what we've seen in the UFC so far, he doesn't have that one connect power, you know, one shot power. He doesn't have the high volume where he's going to wear you down and absolutely butcher you like Eryk Anders can, and we've seen him do. And that's what worries me. The other thing that worries me is Park couldn't even submit John Phillips. That worries me. John Phillips is not a grappler. He did alright defending. You know, he was stuck in a turtle position or had his back taken pretty much the entire fight, or on his back, just getting mauled from guard. But the fact he couldn't finish him, okay, fair enough. You still got the win, you still won 30-27, but it worries me against someone like Eryk Anders with that size difference. So for me, guys, the size difference will play a massive factor. And if Park can't get Eryk to the floor, I think he's in real trouble here, because I think Eryk marches forward. He's got that bullish mentality. He's really raw with the power. Again, I might upset some people that are, you know, fans of your boy, but I think the technical ability of Eryk Anders could be much improved. You know, but he's a lot technically better than Park for me. So guys, I'm going Eryk Anders on this one. Let me know who you've got in the comments below. Like the video if you have enjoyed it, guys, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers guys, enjoy the fights.